Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me. I'm going to present the postgraduate offerings, taught masters and other offerings of the School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. I'm going to share my screen with my presentation. Okay, my name is Thomas Secchi. I'm an associate professor in the School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering in manufacturing processes. So yet again, these are the postgraduate offerings of the School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering at Dublin City University. The first program we are offering is the Masters in Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering program. I myself is the chair of this program. You can see my email address here. By the way, the presentation slides will be made available, so you don't have to write down anything from the presentation. This MH program is accredited by Engineers Ireland at level 9. That means that if you pass this program, the academic side, the academic requirements for chartered engineer will be covered, so you will only have to cover the industrial experience side of it. There are several entry routes to the program, and here are the entry requirements. The most likely entry is the direct entry, which would require an NFQ level 8 degree with a minimum qualification of H22, which corresponds to 50% in mechanical and or manufacturing engineering. So this is probably the route that most of you would be using. If you don't satisfy the direct entry requirements, there are two other entry routes. The first is the access course. The access course is for someone who doesn't have a degree in mechanical or manufacturing engineering, but have a degree in some sort of science or technology or other engineering basis. But again, it requires a level H22 degree. And the third entry route is for someone who doesn't have the H22 degree, but has an H3 degree in mechanical and or manufacturing engineering. Just to mention that the access course and the qualifier are part-time courses, and that means that they are not available for non-EU students due to visa requirements, visa restrictions. So for non-EU students is the direct entry route that is only available. The MH program is a 90 credit program, which means that you accumulate 90 credits in order to get the degree. Out of the 90, 60 have to be at level 9, but it is very unlikely that you can accumulate 60 credits without having level 9 modules. So basically you will need to accumulate 8 modules. You will have to pass 8 modules. Each would accumulate 7.5 credits. And you also have to pass a project which is worth 30 credits. The program is offered both in full-time and part-time mode. In full-time mode, it would take 2 semesters, the autumn and the spring semester, plus the summer period. Whereas in part-time mode, it's up to you how you divide your time, but it has to be passed within 4 academic years according to DCU's regulations. To be honest, whether it's you are studying in full-time or part-time mode, it's basically because the program is fully modular, so it's based on how many modules you select each semester. That would define whether you are studying actually in full-time or part-time mode. There are 2 study modes. One is the on-campus mode, which means that you attend classes. These scheduled classes are during work days only, and during the normal work hours from 9 to 5. There is also an off-campus study mode, which means that you don't attend classes. You can study from home. You can use all sorts of module materials like recorded videos or presentation slides or whatever the module coordinator would provide, and you can use your own time and study from home. It doesn't mean that if you are in on-campus mode that you can't attend some of the classes, some of the on-campus classes. So it's up to you which classes and when you want to attend. As I already mentioned, the program is very flexible. It has a fully modular structure. So basically, you select 8 modules from the full list of modules, and you have to pass a project as well. And you pay a modular fee for each selected module, including the project. Here's a module listing. I'm fairly sure that you won't be able to memorize it straight away. So these are the semester 1 modules, then the semester 2 modules. There are 2 year-long modules, so they run over 2 semesters, and the project runs in 2 semesters and the summer period as well. The project is not listed here. On top of having the master's degree alone, you can also qualify for one of the 4 majors. There are 4 majors in simulation-driven design, in advanced manufacturing, in sustainable systems and energy, and in biomedical engineering. Now, in order to get a major on top of the master's MH degree, you have to develop a project in the corresponding area. Plus, you need to pass a stream of modules. We are going to talk about them in a moment. If you don't want a major, then just select whichever 8 modules you want and whatever project you want to do. So here's an example of what you would get at the end. So everyone will get, well, if you pass the program, you will have an MH in mechanical and manufacturing engineering with a possible major, for example, in biomedical engineering or any of the 4 possible majors. Here's the first major in simulation-driven design. Quite obviously, it concentrates on various software products to simulate design and manufacture. The first module, research practice and methodology, is a compulsory module for everyone, even if you don't want a major. So that's present in all combinations. And also the last one, the project. Everyone has to develop a project in order to get an MH. But if you want a major in simulation-driven design, you have to sign up for this code for this project, and you have to select a project that fits that area. And the other 4 modules are contribute to the stream of modules that you have to pass. So basically, you have to pass these 5 modules in order to get the major. And you select the remaining 3 modules, each worth 7.5 credits, as optional modules from the full list that I have already shown. The next major is in advanced manufacturing. Again, the 2 core modules, research practice and methodology, and the project in the corresponding area are there, and the 4 modules that you have to pass in order to get a major, can get the major. And again, you select the 3 remaining modules from the optional list of modules. The third major is in sustainable systems and energy. Again, here we have the 2 compulsory elements, research practice and methodology, and the project in the corresponding area, and the 4 specialized modules in the stream that you have to pass. And the last one, the major in biomedical engineering. Again, the 2 compulsory modules, the research practice and methodology, and in biomedical project in biomedical engineering, and 4 specialized modules for the stream of modules. I just have to emphasize that because we have say Design for Clinical Practice and Advanced Biomaterials and Tissue Engineering, these two modules require on-campus present or clinical present in a clinical environment, and as such, these two modules are only offered in on-campus mode. And that means that this major in biomedical engineering is not suited for someone who only want to study each module in off-campus mode. So basically, mostly this is for full-time on-campus study only. So how to apply? We have a new online application portal that has replaced the Postgraduate Application Center. So this is our own system. This is the website. Regardless of what program or major you want to apply for, you apply through this application portal. These are the codes for the various access routes for the full-time, part-time, direct entry, for the access course, and for the qualifier. And at application time, you don't mention the major that you want to complete. Your major will depend on what modules you actually register for, but you don't have to mention it at application time. Apart from the codes, the names of the program or the courses will appear in the application portal as well, so it's not a problem. The next offering is a graduate diploma in sustainable energy systems. The chair for that program is Dr. James Carton, and this is the email address where you can have inquiries. This program is funded through the HCI Pillar 1 initiative, which means that for unemployed people, it's free. You only have to pay the application fee, the registration fee. And for employed applicants, you only pay 10% of the fees. So the rest is financed by this HCI Pillar 1 initiative. The entry requirements for this graduate diploma is a level 8 degree in engineering or related discipline, or we can accept even level 7 graduates, which is an ordinary degree in engineering, but you need to have a 3 years engineering experience, and you might be required to pass an interview as well. The graduate diploma is stipulated in the marks and standards in DCU. It's a 60 credit program. All 60 credits have to come from level 9 modules, so it's 8 modules, each is worth 7.5 credits. And this program is only offered in full-time mode in 2 semesters, which means that you have to complete your program in 1 academic year. But there are 2 study modes, just as with the master's program. You can study either on-campus or off-campus mode, and the stipulations are the same. So in off-campus mode, you don't attend classes, or you only attend certain classes, and you study all the other modules from home based on the module materials that are provided by the module coordinator. Here is the module listing. Most of them are highly specialized modules for sustainable energy systems. They are all at level 9. They are all with the credit rating of 7.5, and you have to pass all 8 in order to get the 60 credits required for the graduate diploma. There is one module in technology and career success, which is a year-long module. All the others are single semester modules. As opposed to the master's program, because this program is the graduate diploma is offered and supported by Springboard, so you have to apply through the Springboard web page, where the website is here. The course code is this one here, and you can have the direct link with the course link using this link here. Again, you will be made available the presentation slides. And finally, in the school, we are offering a graduate certificate in energy system decarbonization. The chair is again Dr. James Carton, again the same email address there. This graduate certificate may be funded through Springboard, but we don't know yet. We have applied for funding. We haven't got the results yet. It should appear within a month's time, I suppose. So we'll see later whether it's a fully funded program as with the graduate diploma, or it's a paid option. We don't know it. We don't know it yet. The entry requirements are absolutely the same as with the graduate diploma, so it's a level 8 degree in engineering or some related technology-based discipline, or a level 7 ordinary degree in engineering, and a 3-year engineering experience. And again, you might be required, if it's not clear-cut, to pass an interview as well. The graduate certificate, as stipulated in marks and standards of this year, it's a 30-credit program. It contains 4 modules, each is worth 7.5 credits, and it's only part-time because it's only 30 credits, but it is running in two semesters. Again, the same study modes, either on campus or off-campus remote study mode. And the module listing. So basically, the graduate cert is a cut down version of the graduate diploma. So all these modules appear in the graduate diploma as well. So you just have to pass less modules for less credits. Again, application is through Springboard, but we don't know the course code yet because we don't know whether it is financed, supported by Springboard. If it's not supported by Springboard, then there will be a direct link through a DCU website that you can apply through. And that's all. I'm open for questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to the chat section, and you can either, I'm not sure whether you can ask questions directly using your microphone or just through the live chat. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm ready for taking any questions. I have a question here already. Off-campus study mode. As I already said, off-campus mode means that you study from home, so you don't have to attend classes. So even if you have a full-time or part-time job, you can join the program, and you will be provided various module materials. Like some modules have recorded videos from either from previous years or from the current year. Some provide the presentation slides from the live lectures or tutorials or whatever it is. Some modules have a reading list, books that you can buy, actually developed by the module coordinator, and you just study from home. But if there's an exam that is organized on campus, so not online exams, then you will have to attend the on-campus exams. We have no exams or labs at the weekends, and exams are never in person. I don't know exactly what in person means in your typing. So in person, if it's attending, then yes. If it's not an online exam, then you have to attend the exam. The schedule is given quite in advance, so you can make arrangements of attending those exams. Many of the modules are fully 100% continuous assessed, which means that during the semester, the corresponding semester, you would develop some coursework or whatever assignment it has. So you would normally have all the marks by the end of the semester. Some exams are online exams. Those are synchronous exams, and then you do it from home, obviously, but during the allocated time. So I can't comment on the data analysis masters because it's not offered by the School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. So it's the School of Computing as far as I remember. So you will have to ask them. We only have intakes for the autumn, starting the autumn semester, and the application site is already open, so you can already apply. Not just for this master's program, for all other programs. The application site is already open. There is no other school available at the moment because this is the live stream for this school only. I'm not aware of the full schedule when the other two schools are presenting. Both the School of Computing and the School of Electronic Engineering, they have allocated slots when they are presenting, but I don't have the actual schedule with me here. Some of them might have passed already. I'm sorry. Yeah, the schedule is there. Sorry. You can ask questions later by emailing me. My email is available in the presentation slides. Can we take part in any research work while doing masters? Well, I'm not sure what research work you mean. The master's project is always research oriented, so you will have to take part in research, and some of them are actually linked to existing research projects, and then you are included in that research group. And in fact, while studying, you can investigate what projects are on offer and whether you can develop a project with them. Many of the project coordinators actually offer research projects for those 30 credits that are part of the master's program. Okay, so as far as I can see, the School of Computing have already presented, and School of I don't know, Electronic Engineering is tomorrow, so that's still ahead. Well, if there are four majors, and you do have to select what you want to do, which major you want to do, because there are 5 modules that you have to pass. The project code is not so important because you can always change the module code, but especially if you study in full-time mode, you have to start the modules from the streets for the majors right from the beginning. So yes, you do need to decide at the beginning. If you are a part-timer and you do it, say, over, say, 2, 3, or 4 years, then it could be possible that you select your majors, say, at the beginning of the second year, because you still have time to accumulate the credits from the required module. But in full-time mode, you have to do it right at the beginning. And you do it basically when you register for the modules. So after when you apply for the program, you get an offer for the program regardless of the major. So when you register for the modules before the start of the semester, all the modules will appear as a module listing, and you just pick whichever you need for a corresponding major. In fact, you have to make sure that you register for all the modules that make up a major. So I can't check it for you, and nobody else can. So it's not automatic. You have to make sure that you register for all the correct module codes. And basically, the selected modules will define what majors you get. So at the end, we just check for what module what major those modules correspond. And if you don't happen to have the stream of modules for any major, then you just don't get a major. You just get the MNG on its own. Yeah, again, the master's is not in sustainable systems and energy. The master's is in mechanical and manufacturing engineering. Is the major that is called sustainable systems and energy. The master's title for everyone, regardless of the major, will be MNG in mechanical and manufacturing engineering. If you do need sustainable systems or something like that in the title, then you can go for the graduate diploma in sustainable energy systems. And then there are no majors there. It's the title is with that code. Since I'm not too sure how long this stream will be alive, So I typed in here my email address, so you can email me directly before you get the presentation slides. Can we take home many modules? Well, each major has 5 modules that you have to pass. Actually, not 5. Sorry, I go back for. Sorry, just a second. So, for example, major in simulation-driven design. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each major has 6 modules in it. One is the project with the corresponding code, and one is research practice and methodology. So these two will be present in each major. And then there are 4 other modules in each stream. And then for each major, you select 3 other modules from the list of modules, which was this. And that makes up 8 modules plus the project for 90 credits. And the other modules are actually not from the unselected majors, because there are modules that don't go into any major. So basically the other 3 modules you select from the full list of modules on offer. Yes, it is possible to carry the course remotely. In fact, at the moment, I think we have at least one student who is located in England, so she's doing it from there. During the COVID lockdown, basically everyone was doing it remotely, but now, because we are back on campus, so if you want to attend classes, you can. The only thing is that some modules have computer labs to study these programs, and although you can download student versions of each program, and they are fully functional, or you can log in to our computers using a specialized platform. So basically, you are doing your programming from home, but using our computers. But it is always easier, of course, if you are present here, because there is a tutor here who can explain, as opposed to studying on your own. But yeah, it's about half of the class usually is would be studying remotely. So it's always easier, of course, if you are on campus and study from here. but we have many students who actually have jobs, so they study from home in their own time. The exam period is usually about 1 week, 1.5 weeks, so it's they are quite concentrated, so it's a relatively short period when you might be required to come on campus. Okay, I haven't mentioned this. Um, there are two modules. One is Advanced Finite Element Analysis, and the second one is called Computational Thermofluid Dynamics, which have kind of prerequisite, I wouldn't call it prerequisite modules, but prerequisite knowledge. Obviously, the advanced FEA requires that you have passed some sort of finite element analysis module, and similarly, the computational thermofluid dynamics, it requires some sort of heat transfer or fluid mechanics or something like that module. And someone coming through our system, they would have those modules because that's in our programs, but external applicants, they might not have them. And in order to provide the prerequisite knowledge, we have included two level 8 modules from our fourth-year programs into the masters. They are 7.5 credit modules. And if you haven't studied one or two of those modules before or something similar, you can select them, and they do contribute towards the masters, the 90 credits. As I already told you, the out of the 90 credits for the MEng, 60 have to be at level 9, which means that these two level 8 modules only contribute to 15 credits. So you would still have 60 credits at level 9 accumulated. It is always advisable to take only level 9 modules, but if if you want to study those two higher level modules, you need the prerequisite modules for them. Those two modules are not compulsory for all the majors, so it is possible to avoid them. But for example, for the simulation-driven design major, you need both modules, both advanced FEA and computational thermal fluids, plus the turbo machinery module also requires these two. So yeah, you can select them, and then you replace two level 9 modules with these two level 8 ones. Part-time fees are paid per module. Yeah, part-time fees are paid per module. In fact, full-time fees are paid per module as well, so it's the same. Yeah, I don't have the web page with me here. From DCU's web page, the finance office web page has a fees office link, and the fee breakdown is there. So it doesn't actually matter whether you study full-time or part-time, the fee is the same, because the full-time fee is basically the collection of the modular fees. The only difference between full-time and part-time mode is that if you study part-time over a number of years, every year you have to pay the registration fee, the annual registration fee, whereas in full-time mode you only pay it once. But the module fee is the same for full-time and part-time. I'll try to find where it is. So on this website here, you can find the fees for next year. So this fee schedule 2022-23 undergraduate, postgraduate fees. So you can find it all there. And in part-time mode, every year and every semester you only pay for the modules that you are actually studying in that semester. Whereas obviously in full-time mode you have to register for each module at the beginning, so you pay the full fee at once. Once you make the application, well, it depends on whether you are an EU or non-EU student, or more exactly, whether you are an Irish or non-Irish applicant, because overseas, okay, non-EU, that means that it has to pass the registry first, and then the international office as well, because they have to look at the equivalency of your degree. So that delays it by a couple of days. But usually you would get an offer, or at least a reply within a week. It's all automated now. It's no paperwork. It is just electronic everything. So it speeds up the workflow. And most of the decisions are actually made either by registry or by the international office. It's only the borderline cases where would come to me, and that would delay the process by a couple of days. But usually, if it's a clear-cut case, then it would be by registry and the international office. Yeah, the project usually starts at the very beginning of the first semester. So in full-time mode, quite obviously, you have to start it in the first semester, because you only have one academic year. So you select your project during the first week or two of the first semester, the autumn semester, and you start developing it straight away over the second semester as well. But because in the first and second semesters you still have modules to study, so that's why, and then it's a large project, it is worth 30 credits, and that's why the summer period is there as well. Usually you would have to submit your project report, which is basically a 8-page conference paper and some detailed appendices, somewhere mid-August or the end of August, and you would have the viva in front of a panel at the end of August or beginning of September. And then the other timeline is that our progression and award board meeting is in November. So the November, the next academic year. So if you start, for example, in September 2022, the final progression and awards board meeting would be in November 2023, and this is where all the marks, including the project mark and your grade, would be considered. Now, if you are a part-timer, it's up to you when you start your project. But again, it has to start in a autumn semester. So it could be, for example, in year 3 of your study, but it has to start at the beginning, because you basically join the project development with all other students. So the bulk of the project is probably over the summer period, whichever year you started. A typical part-time breakdown would be over 2 years. During the first 2 years, you would study, say, 2 modules each semester. The second year, again, 2 modules in each semester and the project. Usually, you would leave the project towards the end, mainly because in many cases, the modules actually underpin the project itself. But as far as I know, now the academic year is actually brought forward. We actually start not in September, but in August. So everything actually is brought forward. And I haven't looked at whether progression award board meeting is in November, actually next academic year, or in October, but definitely well after the summer period. I also have a brochure for progressive students with more information. I will provide that together with the presentation slides. So it's kind of more breakdown of timeline and modules and things like that. And just going back to fees, the EU and non-EU fees are different, quite different. So when you look up the numbers, the figures, you have to take into account whether you are an EU or non-EU applicant. And just going back to the project, we at the school offer a project listing, and you can select a project from there. Usually that's the case. It is also possible to, as I already mentioned, to have a research project with a research center. And it is also possible to have a project coming from industry. So if you have industry link with any company, it is possible to develop a project from there. The only thing is that because the master's project has to be research oriented, it has to have some sort of research element. We have to make sure that that project is suitable. So the project coordinator will have to check on that, whether your proposed project satisfies the MNG project requirements. So the MNG project differs from an undergraduate final year project, because the undergraduate project would easily be just a design and manufacture project, say, whereas the master's project must have a research element to it, because one of the deliverables is an 8-page conference type paper. It doesn't have to be published, but it has to be developed and provided as to match the standards of a conference paper. I'm not too familiar with the sustainable system and energy, but I don't think power electronics would be there. I'll go back to the module listing for that major. So it's energy system decarbonization, but those are policies, so I don't think that would be there. Energy auditing and management, no. Advanced system energy systems, I'm not too sure, probably not. And whole life cycle analysis, no, definitely not. So no power electronics, no. You might have there might be a major offered, might be a major or something like that from the School of Electronic Engineering, because they teach power electronics. Not too sure. With a degree in physics, you will have to pass the access course first, because there are lots of modules that would be missing from the physics degree. It's not just thermofluid mechanics or something like that. It's all sorts of mechanics of machines, mechanics of materials, manufacturing processes, and things like that. So yeah, you would need to pass the access course first. You could get exemptions in the access course from modules or similar modules that you have already studied, such as maths, because there are 2 maths modules in there, or something like that. And because the access course does not lead to a degree, to a qualification, and that means that it's not double using the credits. So basically, if you have studied those 2 maths modules or similar in physics, and I'm sure you have, then you would get an exemption. So instead of, say, 6 modules, you would only need to study 4 or even less. Probably the thermofluids. Now you can't, if you already got a degree in physics and that thermofluid mechanics was included in the modules, you won't have an exemption in the masters, because then there would be a double usage of the credits. If there is a similar module in the access course, yes, you would get an exemption there, but definitely not in the masters, because that's this use rule, and not just this use, the whole island rule, that you can't use the same credits in 2 different qualifications. But because the access course doesn't lead to a qualification, so anything that you have studied before will be exempted. I would still suggest that you email me your academic transcripts so that I can see what modules were there, because some physics degree actually do include, strength of materials and things like that. I need to check it, whether it would be possible to have direct access, but I would propose not. No, sorry, you have to pass the access course first. You can't do it in parallel. Having said that, it is possible to study MNG modules on a module-by-module basis. So you don't sign up for a program. You can sign up for a module or a couple of modules, and then, because you have already passed those modules, basically you would be exempted when you actually reach the stage of the MNG. So basically, we have had students who didn't sign up for a program. They only signed up for individual modules, and that can happen at any time while studying the access course as well. The access course contains 6 modules, all from our undergraduate programs in mechanical and manufacturing engineering. So basically, the whole idea is that you get at least the basics of mechanical and manufacturing engineering before you go for the level 9 modules.